So here we are in one piece. I am running 2 minutes late, but we are here. I was making coffee in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I realized, oh, it's 2 minutes ago that I should have clicked the button. Let's get started. So here we are. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our daily get-together live here on Facebook every day of the week, Monday through Sunday, where we exchange headlines, comments, ideas, topics, suggestions, questions, anything that can help us nurture and improve the quality of the lives that we live here in Puerto Vallarta as an English-speaking community of locals, or as a local English community of people. I don't know. But those of us that live here, we got to do things. We have to pay taxes. We have to find out about the latest and greatest places that have just opened. We have to find out shortcuts to get from one place to another, all kinds of those nifty tricks that makes living life here easier. That's what we talk about, along with some cultural aspects of Mexico, how us Mexicans live, think, feel, what we eat, how we eat it, so forth and so on. So this is what we do. And if you're new to these broadcasts, please let us know by writing the word new in your comments. That way we can say hello to you and welcome you to the cluster. Don't be frightened. We are a pretty friendly bunch for the most part. And if you have important comments that you wish to share with everyone, well, the good things is that whatever you write in the comments will be seen by everyone. But if you want us to talk about it during the broadcast, please add the letter Q, and that helps us a lot so that we can break down all the information. If we don't get to it during the broadcast, I take a look at your comments afterwards and usually make some time to add some comments to your comments. So here we are. It is Thursday, February 4th, and today we have a good combo of news and some leisurely stuff, and I am going to make you hungry with some excellent photographs that I have had a chance to photograph yesterday, and I hope you'll forgive me for doing a little show and tell. I went to do some awesome I'm sorry. I have to take a pause here because this is where you will find completely informed residentes permanentes. Thank you very much for that, Logan. The joke yesterday, which came from Paul Christ, was that, of course, we all need to get a CURP, C-U-R-P. And a CURP is the Mexican number that identifies you as an individual in Mexico, whether you're Mexican national or whether you are an immigrant. And of course, Paul decided yesterday that CURP standard for completely uninformed residentes permanentes. But of course, here we try to inform everyone of whatever we can to, again, help us have a better life in Puerto Vallarta. So we have a little bit of news. As I was saying, let me see who is here this morning. Boom, 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 boom. Our home baker is here. We love it when we see Raymond because we love his baked breads. Trucha, it's great to see you. Brisas del Pacifico's in the house. Que onda, Alan? It's always great to say hello to you. Let's see what else we have. Good morning, Renee. It's great to see you. El Centro is in the house by way of Jill Webb. Great to see you as well. Oh, great, Rita. This is great to hear. You know, this morning, Mother Nature and my body played tricks on me. I was supposed to wake up at 7:30, but nope, nope. The body said it's 5 o'clock. Get up. So I got up, and I had a lot of things to catch up on work-wise. So I got a lot of things done today. But had I not had a lot of things to do, I would have gone out for an early morning walk around the city. Absolutely. Next time my body decides it's time to get up early and Luna is not busy licking my face, I shall take an early morning walk. Let's see who else is here. No queue here. Fine, be that way. No problem. If you don't have any questions, you don't have any questions. My sister, God bless my sister, is in Mexico City. She's still struggling with the vaccine website where people that are over 60 are supposed to now be able to register themselves to get the vaccine. Um, um, oh my goodness. Well, I don't have that experience, Matthew, but I'm sure that somebody here among our real estate friends might have something to chime in. By the way, Matthew, I see your profile photo and I see that you are sitting in a theater. And I've been nosy and I see that you list that you work for the Fine Arts Institute in Mexico City. So I would be fascinated if you shared with us a little bit of what you do, what keeps you busy in Mexico City. Um, let's see what else. Um, oh no, Clarissa got executed. Um, Clarissa asked for recommendations on how to get money back from a home service repair person who has taken my money and disappeared without doing the work. That is called execution. It's not funny, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, Clarissa. This is something that happens to all of us at one point or another. I'm not justifying it. It's horribly irresponsible that some people behave that way. This happened to a dear friend of mine a couple of days ago. She told me that these kitchen cabinets that she had been waiting for and she had been calling the guy just disappeared. Now, the recommendation that I have is first of all, if you have it in writing and you know where to find the person, you can always go to the Consumer Protection Agency and hope that something can be done. Something else that you can do this sounds like a horrible thing. If you're absolutely certain that you have been executed, you can shame the hell out of this person. And this is one of those cases in which if somebody just disappears on you and does not follow through on what needs to get done, that is absolutely horrible. And that person, if that person has just disappeared and you've made an honest attempt to find this particular person, then shame away, because you're helping the community not shop or not try to obtain services from this person. Last but certainly not least, you don't want to get caught in the middle of a mañana situation in which this guy appears and starts telling you about the multiple funerals that he or she had to attend, and so forth and so on. And you may or may not want to deal with all that stress in your life. So depending on what kind of investment you made, you may just want to turn the page and say, okay, I learned a lesson. Next time I'll be more careful. And I certainly hope that this was helpful. Oscar, I miss you too. It's great to see you. A ver cuando nos vemos. People over 60, including expats. If you're talking about, oh God, expats. What a horrible, well, never mind. I don't use that word, Ronnie. What can I tell you? It's a word that doesn't apply to me. So anyhow, yes, people over 60, including expats. We talked about the requirements yesterday. So if you want to rewatch the show from yesterday or take a look at the show notes, that's where you'll find the information or what you need to get the vaccine as an immigrant in Mexico. Oh, that's wonderful! What a great memory to have, Matthew. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Let's see what else. Well, that's weird. I thought the website said, well, I haven't seen the website, but first of all, Will, congratulations for being able to log in. Other people that I've talked to said that it's next to impossible, but the government has said they're trying to be fixing the interface. Are you sure you read that properly? I would be curious about that. A mañana situation. Well, yes, we're surrounded by mañana situations, unfortunately. Okay, so that was the welcomes. My goodness, so great, so many great commentaries, and we're already at 10:42 in the morning. So let's just get started with the news. I don't know whether to laugh or cry or just think this is Mexico. It's the way that it is. When our governor, Enrique Alfaro, comes online and says we have less crime in Jalisco than before. And what the governor did is he made a comparison between the crime that happened in January 2018 versus the crime that happened this past January. And okay, so in 2018, the government reported 14,475 crimes in 2018, and the number went down to 9,672 crimes just this past month. So, you can look at this as, is the glass half empty or half full? At least there's less crimes, but to know that, almost 10,000 crimes took place in the whole state last month is a little unsettling, but that's just the way that it is. I'm going to choose to look at this as a glass that is almost full and say, yay, we have less crimes to worry about. So what can I tell you about that? Interesting remark from Diego Mondragon Lavalle. He is one, if the most corrupt politicians. Would you please tell us who you are talking about, Diego? Or how do you know this fact about someone? Because with all due respect, we try not to make blanket statements like that here at Coffee and Headlines. So if you have somebody specific and factual based on a good source of information that you would like to share with us, please go ahead. Moving right along, speaking of politicians that may or may not be corrupt, political graffiti is coming back to Puerto Vallarta. We've known that it is that time of the year, and we know that we're going to have elections through the middle of the year. And I was walking down Versalles, and I spotted this thing that was just pasted and painted onto a wall of a private home in Versalles. So I'd like to explain to you what's going on here to the best of my ability. For example, okay, let me just clarify this because, Diego, I haven't seen you here before. We only concern ourselves with conventional news from reliable sources. If you have a statement to make, please have a solid foundation. But to make such an open statement about anyone, he is one of the most corrupt politicians. No, we thank you, but no, please kindly, share information that we can all feel comfortable about sharing. And we look forward to that. And I hope you will partner with us here in sharing information that has some basis and some credibility, because saying that our governor is one of the most corrupt politicians is like saying that our president is one of the worst presidents, or saying that Trump is one of the most beloved presidents in the United States. Deal? Thank you. Going back to where we were. So what happens this year is we have politics going on because we're going to have elections coming up. And I happen to know that one of the candidates for mayor in Puerto Vallarta is a woman. So clearly, this is an interesting statement. Vallarta quiere presidenta, and the word presidenta ends with an A, which essentially means Vallarta wants a woman president. So that was your little grammar lesson for the day. But the bottom line is that people from a political party can come to your door and ask you, can we paint this in your sidewalk, in your wall, that is your property, or um, or people may just decide to do this and not even ask for permission and wait until you've noticed. And then you may give a damn or you may not give a damn about it. And if you give a damn, you have to make calls to the businesses, to the reglamento, so that this shit gets removed from your wall. But you have to do that if it bothers you. Please know that no one, no party, no political party has the access or the license or the permission to go stamp something on your wall. It will happen. They will do it because they think that you're not going to pay attention or you're not going to give a shit about it. So just be mindful of that. You're going to start seeing that kind of stuff again, and eventually they're supposed to take it off, by the way. When the campaigns are over and the elections are over, they're supposed to take them out. So do they do that? Not very frequently. So just keep that in mind as we move forward into this land of politicalness that we're going to live in Puerto Vallarta for the next 6 to 8 months. Moving right along, it is amazing that the questions that our authorities may have to field from time to time. Apparently, Hugo Lopez-Gatell, who is the Undersecretary of Health in Mexico, who's been taking care of us as far as COVID-19 is concerned, had to answer this question the other day. Are COVID vaccines made from remains from human fetuses? And needless to say, we know that this is not the case. His answer was, I have not heard of a statement so abhorrent, so unscientific, and so far away from the truth. However, it is also possible that there are people out there that just don't believe in vaccines, and that's okay. But to think about this notion that vaccines are made from human remains is a little bit too much. But for better or worse, I just wanted to share that with you so that you could get a sense as to the kind of things that people believe in, not only in Mexico, but in the rest of the world, I suppose. Moving right along, it is natural for us to start feeling a little bit concerned about the fact that we read about variants of the COVID virus, the COVID-19 virus. But the reality is that there are now, according to this article, over 4,000 variants of the COVID-19 virus. Why am I stumbling? Because I haven't had any coffee, that's why. But I will have coffee in a second. What I'm trying to say is there are many, many variants of the virus, and you could choose to spend a lot of energy and emotional energy thinking, oh my God, is this variant going to be worse or better than the other one? And what the article says is that the pharmaceutical companies that are developing the vaccines are constantly trying to improve their vaccines. So rest assured, the scientists have not stopped working just because they have released their vaccines. They're constantly trying to make them better. And that brings comfort to me, and I hope it brings comfort to you. We also have this interesting headline in English from Yahoo News that says why you should get whichever COVID-19 vaccine you can. And I haven't read the article, but I am imagining that, needless to say, when it comes time to get vaccinated here in Mexico, and I'm speaking for us because we are Puerto Vallarta English-speaking locals that are going to get vaccinated here, I don't think it's going to be one of those things in which we're going to have, okay, you can choose to get the Sputnik, or you can choose to get the this or that or the other. I think we're going to get the vaccine that we get, and that's just the end of it. So if you're feeling funny about getting one vaccine versus the other, then I suggest you read the article that I will share the bookmark for when we are done. Let's see what else we have. I think I'm going to save that one for after the break. Yeah, because it's more. Yeah, we'll save that for after the break. Let me take a quick look at your comments today and see what we have. Aha. I don't see Any cues? Jorge says, last time I heard presidenta, it is not correct. The correct way to say it is una presidente. And my sister says that's correct, so it must be correct. What can I tell you? Since I've never been a president and I've never been a girl president, I've never concerned myself with that. But if you say that is the case, and my older sister that is the case, then it must be the case. Terry comments, isn't it possible that the property owner painted it? Yes, it's absolutely possible that the owner of a property is so faithful to his or her own party that they decide to decorate their home with political statements. But the vast majority of times, the government has decided to just put that there. And I speak from not personal experience, but when I was working at Vallarta Lifestyles, and Vallarta Lifestyles was building a new building in Colonia in Fluvial, which, the company never moved to that building. One day we drove past the construction. There was this ginormous banner hanging from the building that was property of the company, and it was my job to make a series of phone calls to get that banner removed because they did not have the right to put the banner there. Let's see. Okay, Fernando says, do I need a sexy waiter that can bring me coffee every morning? Papacito, ya, vente. I'm ready. I can use a sexy mesero. I can use a sexy partner, not so much a waiter, that will bring me sexy coffee every sexy morning. Why not? Okay, moving right along, let us take a quick look at the weather and take a quick look at other interesting news. It's perfectly nice out right now because revenge is a dish best served cold. Oh my goodness. I don't know what revengeful bit of news I'm missing, but of course, Snarky Weather is always commenting on current topics. I don't know who's feeling vengeful this morning. I haven't read the international headlines, but what I do know is that it is 25 degrees Celsius out there. And that would be the equivalent of 78 Fahrenheit. It feels like 26. Oh my God, humidity is only 28%. What a great day to go out and walk and not get schwitzy. I think we should all try to do that today. Forecast is clear through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 17. Tomorrow, Friday, it will be clear through the day as well with a high temperature of 29, low temperature 16. And Saturday, same thing, clear through the day with a high temperature of 27, low temperature of 17. And I see that Bronica, or in this case, Monica, tells us that her sexy husband brings her coffee every morning. Ooh, I'm not going to get dirty, but dirty thoughts went through my mind. I will admit it. Let's see what else we have here. Whoosh. I have one of the most important articles that we could be reading right now. And I am going to share it with you. And this is something that I cut from Huffington Post. It's not just you. A lot of us are hitting a pandemic wall right now. And I could totally relate to this. And this article goes into the science of what happens to our body when we're experiencing anxiety and how adrenaline and other ingredients within get all accumulated and so forth and so on. Needless to say, it's been over a year that we're going through this. In this article, it shows all the empathy that we need to understand what is happening to our bodies and what we can do to try to counteract what's going on. And it all starts from acknowledging. I must confess that lately I'm feeling increasingly tired of the news, impatient, cranky, etc., and I'm sure I'm not alone there. So if this is something that you wish to explore, by all means, go right ahead. Moving right along, I want to mention of two businesses that I know have just opened or are about to open. No, actually, both businesses have just opened. One, and they're both in Colonia Emiliano Zapata, one being the Mystic Circle Cafe, which provides a unique experience for visitors. It's the home of spiritual awareness in Puerto Vallarta, where you can explore spiritual, self-help, and metaphysical interests while enjoying our coffees, teas, and danishes. We wish the Mystic Circle Cafe all kinds of good wishes. And we also know that Joint Cowork has just opened as well. And this is the co-work space located at the Joint Hotel. What a great name, Joint Hotel. I love that. I think it's called the Joint Hotel, but if it's not, Joint, I love it. Anyhow, this is a place that has Wi-Fi and computers and things that you can use if you want to sit down and go online and so forth and so on. And of course, Joint has a lovely website, which I'm going to share, that shows you how you can sign up to conduct business at these beautiful spaces where, as you can see, is well lit and well ventilated. I had the pleasure of visiting this building when it was still under remodeling. And what building is this? Of course, it's the beautiful building located right across from Encanto, where you can find the Joint Co-working Hotel. That's the complete name, Joint Co-working Hotel. No, it's not a good place to go get stoned. It's a good place to spend the night and a good place to do some work. And of course, we know that Bonito Kitchen is located within this building, and Ryan Donner is also located there, his real estate company. So everything seems to indicate that I'm going to be stopping by today to check it out because I'm going to be in that part of town. But regardless, we want to wish this venture the best of success as they start business at a time in which starting business in Puerto Vallarta is a little bit tricky because of the circumstances that we're going through. So we wish them well. Any new business that opens and you want to let us know, please drop us a line so we can spread the good news and help in whichever way we can that for you to have the prosperity you very much deserve. The next one that I have for you will not take place until 2026. And I find it so difficult to make plans for last week nowadays. It's not even funny. But everything seems to indicate that the city of Guadalajara is a finalist to be the city where the Gay Games will take place on the 2026. As we know, the Gay Games is a gay version of the Olympics. It is a friendly competition that has taken place in different cities around the world, and it is a great way for the LGBTQ community to feel empowered about its own accomplishments, and it is something that brings together a lot of people. It's great for tourism. So if this actually comes to the city of Guadalajara, I'm sure we will see a lot of spillover activity here in Puerto Vallarta being such a popular city for the LGBTQ community. Needless to say, nowadays I hear gay games and I hear crowds and I hear masks and I hear pandemic. So let us pray and let us hope that in 2026 we will have gotten over all this mess. Everything else that I have to share with you is not directly related to the destination, but this is a good time to take a look at some of your latest comments. Mesero Sexy, we got that covered. Let's see, I'm looking for cues. Beam, 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 BYOB, bring your own bong. That sounds like a party I would love to attend. Are the prices high at the Joint Hotel? Raymond, you're such a, what do you call it? A punster. A punster. I actually checked the prices. The prices are listed on the website, and it's not expensive. It's not as inexpensive as other hotels in the neighborhood, but it's certainly not very expensive. Let's see what else we see. Team Fan tells us that Gay Games is a great event. I've never been. And Troy adds some additional information. Munich and Valencia are the other two finalists for those games. How fascinating. And we get a little mini report from Logan of the Mystic Circle Cafe. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. It is always appreciated when we hear good things about businesses. And when businesses don't do what they're supposed to do, it's also good to know. And that goes along the lines of the Mexicution we were discussing earlier today. It is always good to make sure that everybody is accountable. Moving right along, the useless headlines. Well, useless, maybe, maybe not. So I remember last year when the pandemic was just starting, and we had learned that the Golden Globes ceremony was going to be virtual. And I figured, well, next year we'll have a regular ceremony. And I actually don't know what kind of ceremony we're going to have this year, but I do have the whole list of nominations available here. Last year we commented, and this year we comment as well, that this is a good time to see what are the shows that are making a lot of noise, good noise, of course, and what are the shows you may want to add to your watch list in the near future. There are a lot of things here. Of course, Netflix is ruling with a lot of shows, as they usually do. And because they get a lot of nominations, and I know that I am a Crown head, and in case you are a Crown head, as in The Crown from Netflix, you may be interested in this other bit of news. Apparently, a documentary on the royal family that was made during the 60s. Yes, it first aired in 1969. Apparently, a crew from the BBC followed the royal family for a whole year. And then the Crown decided, well, we don't want to show this to anyone. So the Crown did whatever they could to censor it. And somehow this has resurfaced on YouTube. So if you're curious about the royal house of Windsor and how they behave or how they not behave, I'm going to share with you the URL so that you can watch this documentary on your own time. And the last two headlines that I have to share with you come from the New York Times. The first one from a series that we know and love, which is the 5-minute series. Their latest one has to do with 5 minutes that will make you love string quartets. String quartets are, of course, classical pieces of music that are usually in the classical repertoire, but there's some contemporary string quartets that are written for one violin, one viola, one cello, and sometimes a bass, or sometimes it can be a violin and two violas. Sometimes it depends on the configuration, or two violins and one viola and one cello. Regardless, what these series of articles that the New York Times puts together is they reach out to people that are not necessarily musicians. And these people, for example, they reach out to David Allen, who's a writer for the Times. What makes string quartets special for these people? So when you hear about common people like you and I talking about the genres that make them happy, it is exciting to think about maybe we could get excited about the music as well. And the final article that I have to share with you is how the New York Times has produced all these series of articles, the 5-minute articles, and some of them have to do 5 minutes to fall in love with sopranos, 5 minutes to fall in love with symphony works, and so forth and so on. So it is a great Sorry about that. I don't know what I clicked on and how much did I don't know that I don't know what I clicked on. I am so very sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. So, oh my God, where was I? Where was I? Serious apologies. I was talking about the New York Times article, the 5 minutes at a time article, and I am just hoping that that you heard what I had to say about that. And after that, we were done with. Yes, I definitely need coffee. Thank you very much for that. Oh, we lost you after the string quartets. Oh, that's easy because what I was saying is the final article that I wanted to share with you today is this overview article that the Times has put together on these 5-minute series. My reaction was priceless. Yes, that's usually what happens, and I start schwitzing. Now, if you can see that my forehead is starting to glow, is because I get really nervous when I make mistakes when doing this online. Um, and now that's very funny, Sherry. Seriously. Okay, so we are at the end of Coffee and Headlines for today. I don't know what you're planning on doing today, but I'm planning on walking. I'm walking into town. I have errands to run. I have a dinner meeting with someone that has suggested an interesting topic for something to include here at Coffee and Headlines, which has to do with food delivery services, and the reality of their fees and how much they take away and so forth and so on. And I'm intrigued about this notion, so I'm going to meet this very someone. I am also going to go out shopping for skirts. Yes, you heard me right. I am going to buy a skirt for myself. Why? Because it's been on my checklist for many, many years, and I'll be darned if I cannot wear a skirt from time to time in a place where I feel safe and silly wearing a skirt, such as Hotel Mercurio. So I'm going to go buy a skirt for myself today. So there. What else am I doing? I'm taking photos. I'm walking. I am touring the new co-work. Maybe, just maybe, I may stop by there. Maybe a surprise. But I hope that whatever you're doing today, you are doing it safely and kindly and in a friendly way. And I hope that we get together sometime in the near future. Larry asks, skirt for brunch on Sunday? Paco answers, absolutely. What a better place to go wear a skirt at Hotel Mercurio than brunch. And if I get lucky, I might paint my nails too. You got to try these things. And that's the show for today. Try something new. That's it. Yeah, try something new today and tell me all about it tomorrow. Have a great day.